In this video, we're going to take a look at 3 of the key questions and answers about the game and see how they're interrelated. The first question is just what is the job of the coach? What is the coach's role? And the quickest, most simple answer is that the coach's role is simply to help the players play better soccer. Now that has 2 components in it: to help the players play better soccer today and to play better soccer in the future. So there always has to be a balance between what the coach is doing in the here and now and what he hopes or she hopes to see the results be 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. That brings us to the next question. If the coach is going to help the players play better soccer, what's the best way to do that? Well, the answer would be that the kids are playing soccer and that the coach coaches soccer and not something else. When your kids only play or practice for 2 hours a week, maybe 3, it's important that they're actually playing the whole game. That to spend time practicing divided elements gives you a big problem in the long run. Now, if the coach is going to coach soccer, how do you know when you're coaching soccer? So what is soccer? Well, soccer has 6 key elements, and the first one is that it's a game. Soccer involves play. Soccer presents a problem, as all games do, and in this case, those problems have to be solved with soccer skills. Now, whether you solve them or not, you end up with a result. If you solve the problem, you're successful. If you didn't solve the problem, you're not successful. So in this sense, the game becomes a teacher. The kids are not going to have to rely on the coach or an adult to tell them you did that well or you didn't do that so well. The kids will already know. And one other little aspect about this. Keep in mind that soccer is a hobby, and hobbies are activities that people do in their leisure time. Hobbies are very easy to replace, as coaches who've been in the game for a while already know. Now the second element after the game is that soccer is made up of players, and the players are going to be in teams. This means you have to learn the elements of cooperation and competition at the same time. In fact, you need to learn how to cooperate with the opponents. When the teams work together, you have your best chance of ensuring a good game that's going to be sporting and fair. The third element will be that the game has to be played somewhere. It has to be on a field. Whether it's on a tennis court, on a strip mall, on a Bermuda grass field, $1 million field, or on AstroTurf, the game has to be played somewhere, and that somewhere will be the field. The fourth element is that soccer has goals. And in the basic game, the goals are located on opposite ends of the field. That gives both teams, all the players, an objective. You defend one goal, you attack the other. And when the goals are located in that arrangement, you also have direction. You have front and back. When you have front and back, you have right and left. When you have right and left, you have a center. So you have direction and objectives. The fifth element is the ball. Once you put a ball on the field, now you have that little thing about being in front of the ball, playing behind the ball. You also have ball possession, and ball possession with the teams now determines your role. Not only determines your role, but when the ball changes hands, you're using the 4 main moments of the game. That's going to be a huge thing. Now, there are a lot of games that have a ball, goals, played on a field, and have players. So what makes soccer so unique from these other games? Soccer-specific rules. And that is the 6th element that we have there. Now, all of these elements, they don't have to be presented in exactly the form you have for the big game. You do not have to have 11 versus 11 on a rectangular field with goals like this. You do not have to have all of the rules in place. You certainly need a ball. That's one thing you have to have. So when you modify these elements, you can start to create and manage your own small-sided games in order to create your own problems, or problems for the players. And as the players solve these problems on their own, using their soccer skills, the games will teach them just how successful they were. That's called playing with the elements, and that's what we're going to look at in this next series of videos when we look at these elements and what it means to start changing them.